Miami housing in free fall intro. The shock Miami's housing market didn't just cool down, it collapsed. Prices that once felt untouchable are now slipping fast. Sales that used to explode overnight are drying up, and neighborhoods that once symbolized luxury and easy money are now buried under for sale signs no one wants. Homes that sparked fierce bidding wars just a few years ago are now sitting in silence, week after week, while panicked sellers slash prices again and again and again. Behind the scenes, Florida's leaders are under mounting pressure. Miami was supposed to be the crown jewel of Florida's boom, the proof that migration, wealth, and endless demand would keep prices rising forever. Now that story is breaking apart. Because if Miami can fall like this, what does that mean for the rest of Florida? The meltdown in Miami. For years, Miami was sold as unstoppable. Wall Street money moved in. Crypto wealth flooded the city. Remote workers arrived from New York, California, and beyond. People believed Miami was different, a permanent boom city, a market that could never truly fall. But today, the mood has shifted. Prices are down from their peak. Inventory is rising. Buyers are pulling back. Walk through Miami's neighborhoods now and you can feel it. For sale signs line the streets like warning flags. Condos that once sold before completion are now sitting unsold for months. Realtors are cutting prices, pulling listings, then relisting lower. Phones that once rang non-stop now stay silent. Even experienced agents admit this downturn feels different, sharper, heavier, more serious. One local agent described it bluntly. This market feels frozen in fear. From boom city to speculation hub. To understand Miami's fall, you have to remember how extreme the boom became. Just a few years ago, Miami transformed into a housing obsession. Investors rushed in, chasing appreciation. Luxury condos were flipped like trading cards. Pre-construction units sold out to buyers who never planned to live there. Homes weren't places to live anymore. They were financial bets. Politicians proudly pointed to Miami and said it was the future of Florida. But beneath the hype, cracks were forming. Prices exploded far beyond local wages. Entire neighborhoods shifted from communities to short-term rentals and investor units. The market became dependent on constant outside money. Miami stopped being driven by residents. It was driven by speculation. That works until it doesn't. The turning point. Then conditions changed. Interest rates rose. Easy money disappeared. Risk suddenly mattered again. Buyers vanished. Deals collapsed. Financing fell apart. People who agreed to buy at peak prices realized something terrifying. The homes and condos they committed to were now worth less than what they had promised to pay. Assignment listings flooded the market. Investors panicked. Confidence evaporated. The same buyers who once bragged about Miami's infinite demand quietly stepped back, and the fall began. The numbers don't lie. The data out of Miami tells a grim story. Prices are slipping year over year. Sales volumes have dropped sharply. Inventory continues to climb. Condos are sitting longer. Discounts are growing deeper. Urgency has turned into desperation. Investors who bought at the top are now trapped. Mortgage payments jumped, insurance costs surged, and rents failed to keep up. For many, the math no longer works. Local homeowners aren't spared either. Families who stretched themselves thin during the boom are now watching their equity fade. The psychological shift across the city is brutal. Florida, officials under pressure. As Miami's housing market cracked, political pressure followed. Reporters began asking uncomfortable questions. How could this happen in Florida's most hyped city? How could a market fueled by migration and wealth unravel so fast? State leaders pushed back. They blamed interest rates, national economic conditions, media negativity. But Miami wasn't just another city. It was the symbol, the proof that Florida's growth story was unstoppable. Now that symbol is cracking in full public view. Behind closed doors, frustration is growing. Miami's housing downturn is no longer just a market issue. It's a political one. The warning. Miami's story isn't just about one city. It's about what happens when hype replaces fundamentals, when speculation replaces stability, when everyone assumes prices can only go up. Miami believed it was immune. It wasn't. And now the question hanging over Florida, and the rest of the country is impossible to ignore. If Miami's housing market can fall like this, who's next? End screen. Call to action. What do you think happens next for Florida real estate? Is Miami the warning or just the beginning? Let us know in the comments.